it was a mess by the end of the year, right? So we ended up playing on the football practice field. Really big deal, folks. So we're up there, it's near the end of practice, and kind of Chuck's gathering everybody together. And, you know, I'm young and I'm stupid. And I decide I'm gonna smack a ball really hard into the goal, all the way down the other end of the field. And I mishit it. And I nailed it, right? And it hit Chuck on the side of the head. And all you saw was feet, right? And Chuck going down, so all the falling and all that, I'll take those away from us.
Are you scared?
Oh, not the Jackson 5.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna ruin the story.
How did I know? This is one of the former students of Hillsdale, and this is her mother, one of my former players of the first team ever at San Diego State. And I had 3 of my former players' kids in my class.
So, I am Emily and Casey
And she's a teacher also.
Mom, I'm a teacher, and it just so happens he ended up being my daughter's teacher. So, I get the little Hillsdale parent card in the mail one summer, welcoming the new teachers, and I read through it, and it says Charles Clegg. Okay, I didn't know you were ever a teacher nor in the teaching field, and by then I had already been teaching a good 15 years. And I thought, that name sounds familiar. So fast forward to Casey's 8th grade year, and she's placed in Chuck's math class. So I stopped in his room one afternoon, this is how I introduced myself, and I said, this player here was the most amazing player ever. And he looks up and he looks at me, and we know who each other. We're the favorites, right, Donna, Shannon, and I? Okay, just checking. So I told him Casey was my daughter, and made him remember I was on the first SDSU women's soccer team, 1989, and poor Chuck had been talked into coaching this team. I was a sophomore, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong on some things because it's kind of a long time ago. So, there was a club team on campus already. And if we were on the club team as freshmen, we obviously weren't that serious about playing D1 college soccer. We wanted to play on the club team at San Diego State and drink and play soccer. We weren't that serious because that was the #1 party school when I went there. So, poor Chuck has this club team that he's willing to take on, and he got the opportunity because women's swim and dive was cut. And because of Title IX, we got the women's varsity soccer team. So there was a bunch of club soccer players that obviously had not made soccer a priority. We just wanted to have fun. And so we had to try out. I know that. I was a little stressed. This first team, though, we had a whole lot of heart. We laughed all the time. Probably, I know we drove you crazy. We were used to traveling and drinking heavily the night before and then playing soccer. And now this whole D1, like, oh my gosh, like this is serious now. I don't know if we can do this. So
they had to drink more.
I just remember I can smell the alcohol coming off your sweat from the night before.
Believe me, he recognized it.
So fast forward to Chuck's teaching days. Fate had it. I said Casey was placed in his class. So Casey's going to give you some insight into a student's perspective on Chuck. And she's going to be nice and spray him something. Okay, so I just have to pass this around because you're going to be really pissed off because he looks the same as he did back in 1989. Why don't you pass that around? Yeah, he looks the same.
How old are you?
18.
Okay.
South Dakota State University?
Well, I had just a great time in Mr. Clegg's class. I mean, it was really fun, and you kind of like got away with some stuff that you didn't have training. But I don't know if you remember Kelly, my best friend, and we would sit next to each other. So we caused quite a bit of noise in that class, and we weren't the easiest people to kind of teach. But my favorite memory being in Mr. Clegg's class was I was also in his 0 period. And I remember one time he was like, "Oh guys, let me show you something." And on the dot cam, he put up this picture, and it was this like ridiculous looking like picture of these 5 people wearing wigs, and I'll let my mom explain to you what the costume was, because I don't think I can find words for that. But he said somebody in this classroom knows one of the people in this picture, and I think you said like it might be your mom or something, and I was like, oh God, because I knew the connection, and I had heard some of my stories of my mom through Mr. Clegg. So turns out my mom had dressed up as the Jackson 5 with her 4 other teammates, and I was sitting in class staring at the dot cam of my mom dressed up in this ridiculous outfit.
With beers in their hands on my doorstep.
So that was my fondest memory.
And the costume included, she couldn't say this part, but I'm going to, full dark brown makeup, big afros, flared pants, and complete with a bulge in the crotch. So anyway, that's when Casey's class got a little bit of connection with the old Chuck. And then there was this one story that you reminded me of, and you have to help me if I can't remember it. And your player might know. Was it Casey?
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle. So there was the serious practice, and you have to help me with this, before your big playoff game. We used to hike Cow's Mountain a few years ago together till he fell down the mountain. Now I get it. Yeah, I'd call Donna and go, Donna, you might want to check his head because he fell.
This was before the NCAA playoffs. We had gone to the NCAA final the year before.
The boys' team.
The men's team. Okay. And the women's team, and we're getting ready for our last practice before the playoff game. And the women's team had just finished their season. I coached both teams that year, so I had both teams going on. It was really a hard year.
Double trouble.
But then we started practice, and all of a sudden...
So, I don't know whose idea is what. We decided that we were going to take someone's pickup truck, and we were going to put trash cans in the back and fill it full of water balloons. And that, for some reason, it was a good idea that before this big game to drive it onto the practice field and start water ballooning the boys.
There's a little more. They were chasing the boys in the truck around the field, throwing water balloons and trying to run them over. And if the athletic director would have... They were chasing while it was hilarious. The boys loved it. I was apoplectic. I'm standing in the middle going, what's going on? And bam, the water balloon hits it.
I think I just remember you just going like this a lot. So anyway, on the serious side, Donna and Chuck were like parents because we were crazy 20-something-year-olds. You were a father figure, and it's so right. You could, you could take shit, but you could dish it right back, which was really fun being a college student. Donna was amazing, and I didn't know this. You shared with me when I saw you, 6 months ago, that, and I'm sharing this because there's such a team, and there's just so much love, and his players love both of them. That you provided these to the first women's, I don't know if you did it every year after, but the seniors got the sweater. That was her idea to take care of the players, so I thought that just kind of shows what kind of people they are. And then I reached out on Facebook, don't be too scared, but I reached out to DJ, because she's my Facebook friend, goalkeeper, and I said, okay, I'm going to this thing, I'm older than you, like help me remember some things. So this is what she had to say. Geez, there are so many fond memories at my time at State with all of you. I remember being a red shirt freshman, and he included me in everything. Usually we didn't really care about the red shirt so much, but he made it. I recall 2 vans full of athletes, and he decides it was time we stopped for some food after traveling to Cal Poly Pomona. Many people were not from the area, and so he said he was taking us to the best burgers in Southern California. Boom! In and out. First time I'd ever had one. Love him for introducing that place to me. Never mind practice. I was introduced to Butts Up. Do we have them like all lean over and we just rifled the balls at them? Is that what we did? We did.
Initiation, they had to bend over in goal, and you got to shoot from the penalty spot and try to hit them in the butt.
And it might have been after a bunch of Jack Daniels, just saying.
I didn't know about that.
No, he did not.
That wasn't part of the pregame warm-up.
I've never seen athletes trained so hard to win, so classic. Best memory I have was his kindness. He would bring the entire team to his home during the holidays for dinner. And then I don't know about this story, you might know about this. Never mind, Shauna caught her sweater on fire because of the hairspray. Do you remember that? I don't remember that. I could go on and on for hours of all the madness, but I gotta go. He was the best. So, anyway.
Thank you. Hey, and she ended up being a great teacher,
Yes,
so I told you. Oh. By the way, two of my coaches from San Diego State just came in. Jack Henn and Mark, stand up please. Jack was on the 1964 Olympic volleyball team that went to Tokyo. Center for them. And 68 in 1968 in Mexico. Mark was a volleyball coach at San Diego State also, both men and women, and played for Jack. And they won the actual first national title. It wasn't an NCAA championship. And Jack's the only NCAA championship coach in the history of San Diego State. So that's congratulations. And Mark played for him on this team.
We're going to share more stories, but Donna would like everybody to have some food first.
And please, Donna, will you come up for a second, real quick? Come on. My family's all here. First of all, I want to thank this woman for putting up with me. How she said yes. She's never been drunk in her life, so I don't know, that didn't work. But I don't know how she said yes, but I want to thank you very much for this, because I had no idea. And you guys, that's just wrong, Mike, and Cecilia and everybody else. But I'm so pleased to be around family, and I consider Hillsdale and my Cajon Valley all family. Brian, come in here. I don't buy it still. This is my son, but anyway, I want to thank you, everyone, for doing this. It's a lot of, there's some errors in there, but that's okay. Thank you very much.